Hi, Chris. It's Saturday, December 4th.
2010. We're here recording at Jeffrey's house.
We're not in D.C.
We were today.
We were in D.C. today. The thing I was most impressed with was the art museum.
Yeah.
So there were two things. There are two levels of things that impressed me at the museum today.
Okay.
There was the stuff that I'm like, that's awesome, and I could do that. And then there was the stuff that I was like, that's awesome, and I couldn't do that.
Well, what was something awesome that you could not do? And there's a sculpture that you were really fascinated by that was like, it was like in and out.
Right. That was the thing that I was like, this is awesome, and I could never do that. So the motivation video has gotten like 20, 30 views.
Really?
Yeah. I was like, who's watching this?
Not me.
I know. So if you're watching this, leave a comment.
Yeah, just so we know. I mean, we're just doing this for shits and for cruds and giggles. So. For cruds, we gotta be PG.
Why?
This is for a public audience.
Cruds and giggles.
You're giggling. I'm crudding.
You're full of crud.
Good stuff right here. Jeffrey found the only beer I've ever liked, and it doesn't taste like beer. That's why. What's it called? You going to advertise for these guys?
I am. They deserve it.
Let's give these guys some free advertisement. Framboise. Framboise.
Framboise. It's Belgium. Oh, this is kind of the important part.
What's that part?
Lindemans. They're the company. Because Framboise, that's the flavor.
Ah.
That just says it's raspberry. They also make peach.
Is that any good?
I like it.
Okay.
Becky doesn't like it as much.
She's a super taster.
Yeah. They make an apple. That one's not as good.
Let's just stick with this one.
The peach is really good.
Okay, we'll try the peach.
They also make a cherry. It's pretty good. It's a little tiny bit more beery. Like, cause the thing about this, it's beer, but it doesn't really taste like beer because what they do, they make the beer and then, add the hops and all the, whatever you do to make beer. I don't care. I hate beer. But then they add a fruit to it. And obviously with Framboise, with raspberry, they add raspberries.
It's good. I don't normally like raspberry. But I like this.
And then they let it ferment again. So you get the sweetness of the fruit all in there, and it doesn't taste like beer at all.
But for anybody who likes to drink piss beer, this isn't for you. This tastes good.
Well, you might like this too, but you're also probably going to think it's like a girly drink or something. So
beer, drinking.
Are you mocking me?
Always. I do. You know it. I'm always giving you shit.
So I've decided to stop saying word.
I caught that yesterday.
I know, because I said I'm going to stop saying word. I have these things I say. I think a lot of people do.
Everybody does. Catchphrases.
Right. My catchphrase from high school was, "Are you mocking?"
Ah! Da-da-da! Play back to the old.
Do you remember that, Becky?
Yeah. I remember that I'm going to fire you thing.
Right, well that was for a long time. That was the long lasting one. Do you remember that one? You encountered that one a little bit.
You tell me you were going to fire me?
No, anytime people pissed me off, I said, "You're fired."
He did it before Trump.
Long before Trump did it. And then if people looked at me funny or asked what the hell I meant, I explained that everyone alive works for me for my entertainment.
I like that.
When they're fired, it's because they're no longer entertaining. And so at that moment in time, whether or not they're alive or not, I didn't care.
I like that. But the not caring part, you should always care if somebody's alive.
There are plenty of people I don't care if they're alive. That's not saying I want them dead. I just don't care.
Okay, yeah, that's true.
There are billions of people.
Yeah, you don't care about it. There's only like a few thousand I care about. What were the stores we wanted, Becky?
Bob Place.
And then the Puerto Rican cooking for Marina.
Oh, okay.
And what was the other store?
A Crocs store.
Right, because it was Eating Crocs.
Eating with Crocs.
Eating Crocs, yeah. And then you have a bus tour to go around the parking lot. We'll have like art. We'll have giant scorpion tail art sculptures on fire.
You have to make it a whole experience.
It is. If you're going to do it right.
You approach things from a multi-focused nebula of ideas. Whereas I approach things and it's like doing what I'm doing, that's what I'm thinking about. And one of the points was that you asked if I had any thoughts about the video during dinner. I'm like, no, I've been eating dinner. I'm eating dinner. That's what I'm thinking about. Getting the food into my mouth, focusing on that, getting it done, and enjoying the experience to the fullest.
Yeah, I like food, but I think about other stuff. Part of the experience is sitting down with friends and talking with them. And that's what I was experiencing to the fullest at that moment. I had my mouth full of good food, chewed it, put it to the side, then talk to my friends.
I'm not saying that you eat differently than I eat.
Your thinking's different, and your thinking
Right.
controls your eating. And if your thinking's different, your eating's different.
So anyway, single-minded approach focusing on what you're doing.
I can do that.
And I can, like, do craziness, but I generally don't.
Yeah, it's my natural. But whenever I'm in work mode, like, I will approach a house and just walk around it. I'll pick up stuff. I'm always picking up stuff, and then that allows me to focus on what needs to be fixed. I always get the layout of a house first. I have like a script. You're talking to the customer, hey, I need to do this, and depending on this and this, that's work. But my natural state, I'm just on the fly. Not exactly scatterbrained because I can focus, but there's a stream of consciousness just flowing. Does that make sense?
Yeah, so I tend to have a very organized approach to anything. It's not a planned thing. It's not about planning. It's just about keeping things in a structured, ordered way so that things pan out right without planning. I try to keep the ducks in a row so that it just happens. It's how I play chess, too. There are people that can see like 10, 20 moves ahead. Mm-hmm. If I really focus and really sit down and really pay attention and really think hard, I can do that. But I mostly play on instinct and just structure my game in a way that it just kind of turns out. I lay a foundation so that I don't have to know what's going on. I don't have to really think about it. It's just like you take the right step here, and then you don't have to worry about those steps anymore. It's done. It's over. You can throw it away.
I'm the complete opposite. I'd see that and roll a marble over your chessboard. That's kind of how I see stuff. I'm like, if everything's beautiful, just throw in something crazy. See what happens. That's how I like to roll. And I just like to see how things pan out. Sometimes I'll catch myself just I'll be working at people's houses and I'll just kind of watch them and just see how they act. I just like experiencing things. I mean, I don't really plan anything. I just do stuff, and I have the belief that no matter what way anything turns out, it's perfect. That's how things are supposed to be. My changing them in any way, shape, or form, I mean, yeah, sometimes I can get a better result for myself, but the opposite would be just as fine. I could learn from that experience. And I learned this, like, playing cards with my family. I got to the point, like, logically I could play cards and dominate anybody in my family. But in my family, that's not the point because, yeah, I could beat them, but I'm actually there to have fun with my family. And it's fun.
We were talking about threads the other day.
Mm-hmm. I'm only one stream.
But I think your operating system switches from one thread to another much more quickly than mine.
That is sometimes called ADD. That's probably what I got right there. It's not like fully legit, hey, get this guy medicine. It's just fun for me. I enjoy it. Maybe if I had medicine, I could be more.
I think medicine is overused and overprescribed.
I do too. I actually enjoy being who I am, and I wouldn't medicate myself.
So the one thing I'll say about my approach, I form a lot of my beliefs from a series of books. The main one was called Way of the Peaceful Warrior. There's one set of doctrines. Doctrine's not the right word, really, but it talks about meditating on every action and really honing in, and that's your focus, and that's the thing you do. The author of the book was a national level gymnast. He experienced that when he was in the zone, really focusing on his athletic output. That was when he was in the best place mentally. The guy that was kind of mentoring him helped him to see that he could apply that to other areas of his life. I don't know that I successfully do it. I don't think about doing it anymore.
You do think about stuff a lot.
Well, I do think about stuff, but that's the thing. It's not about thinking about stuff. It's about being in the zone to get that done and experience that experience without the moving from thread to thread. I'm not saying that it's necessarily better.
It helps me get stuff done. Like if I'm walking around my house, I'm always bombarded by I can do this, do this, do this, do this, and if I see something, I do that. Then I'll walk, and as I'm doing it, I'll see something else, and I'll do that, and I get stuff done around the house pretty quick when it needs to be done. It's one aspect of it, and I don't know. I think it helps me pick up on stuff. Truth be told, I use it to. It helps me read people because I'm always looking, just picking up stuff. And I've been working on reading people and just trying to understand people better. My whole purpose is to make social experiences for people better and make people happier. If you can pick up on how they're doing and try and find ways to make it so they're not sad and try and give them a smile, might act like a clown sometimes, but it makes people smile. That's my purpose. That's how I help people. But I like your way too. It's good. You get shit done.
So with that, call it a video?
Yeah, you got a lot of stuff to work with right there.
Yeah. Well, it's going to be a long video.
Yeah. That's fine. It gives me... I'm going to make one tomorrow.
Don't forget to be awesome.
I won't.